So we're going like with the 2016, right? Is like the one that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of them, right? And we've actually left 2000 in the woods or whatever like that, right? And then, but what I was doing here, right, is that to me, right, I've added them up, right, and I found that one of them added to 10, 10, 2, which would be 22, right? But the obvious question about those numbers seemed to me that it added up to 40 in that, eh? And none of the other numbers really made me peculiar about that, honestly adds up to 40, like, eh? So the 2p standard for 20 in that sense, right? None of the other 2p's meant that, right? So we've come up with like that, well, the other 2p did add up to that kind of as well, then we said, right? That the 2002p added up to 4 or 40, right? Then we also said if all of them might have just added a 0, right? But no, it seems to me, right, we wrote, Obi, 10 plus 10 plus 2 equals 22, right? But it seems obvious to me that that'll add up to 40 because 10 plus 10 plus the 2 was like a 20 or that, eh? And then, so if the numbers we come up with anyway are in sequence 447. So maybe if the question was like, who is this, right? It's number 7 is like Jesus or something answered back with that, eh? Because 26, 13, 14 doesn't work for him or that, eh? And then, anyway, we've come up with the numbers 40, 22, 70, 260, maybe 260, right? You get the 270 reacts or that, eh? Or like, or the 270 Nikes or that, right? Then, like, he said, because that to me was 260 degrees, right? But he lands that like every time, like, that's the way he pivots or that, eh? And maybe randomly, I've come up with like if they can do like a 360 backflip and then it takes them enough time, right? But before he turned around, he didn't know he had 360 backflip right in front of him or that, eh? But I don't really practice that. Like I practice just 360s or that, eh? And like so 360 was like to honestly like do this banister right here and that run jump 360 in that, eh? But like I'm not even like been practicing. I just like run up to things in that, eh? And then anyway, so the numbers 40, 22, 70, 260, 130, 140. So if maybe 130 was like turn up on that, eh? Like turn up like on your motorbike and that, eh? Or like well I know it's from motorcycling with mods and that, eh? Mods and that, and then they had motorbikes that they were doing 110 mile an hour on that, eh? On their motorbike and that, eh? Um, then that was turn up is 130, 140 or that, eh?